Hi everyone, this is Gary Wilson and welcome to tonight's live webinar for those of you who are in the Investor Agent Training Program, which is many of you. For those of you who are new to the Turning Rental Problems into Real Estate Profits program, welcome aboard. And for any of those who've been through the buying rental, properties program and also flipping programs, welcome aboard. Tonight we have a really good subject backed by popular demand. We're going to solely devote tonight on how do you use this beginning front-end process. Hey Rocco, how you doing, buddy? All right, how do you use this very beginning process, the beginning of everything, to identify the right areas for your clients, whether you're working with flippers, working with landlords who buy rentals, or if you're managing properties for those landlords. Either way, if you master this, guys, everything else falls into place more easily. So first off, welcome aboard to all the new folks. If you're in here from either North or South Carolina or Georgia, those are the newer folks. We've got people, once again, literally from coast to coast, California to New York, and even up in Toronto and all the way down to Florida. So welcome aboard, everybody. Let's see, Marcus says you don't record anymore of the webinar. Absolutely, we do record them. Let's see, who was Margaret. If you look on, so Margaret, when you go onto the member section, they're all housed there, and they're on a database catalog by subject type. So you can find any webinar you want. I mean, there's probably well over 100 of them out there, cataloged by subject type. So you should have access to that. If you're not certain, contact Jody. Everybody here should have Jody's email by now, and the 800 number, 1-800-931-2605, and it's Jody at myinvestmentservices.com. And they load the member section every month with the newest members, the newest students throughout that month. So if you just join as of September 1, you'll be loaded on November 1. If you join in September or prior, you would have been already loaded onto the platform there. So and also as long as you register, Margaret, for the webinar, even if you're not able to attend, the very next day the recording is sent out in an email from Beverly. So you should get that. If you didn't register, you just have to go to the website and get it from there. Let's see, this is Sylvain. Sylvain says, I will be in Europe until Monday the 14th. How can I follow if you don't record anymore? The webinar. Oh, that was Sylvain. I thought that was Margaret. That was Sylvain. Yes, Sylvain. We do record them. So Sylvain, that answer was actually for you. Sorry for the confusion there. Okay, let's see here. Just want to make sure we're all caught up on questions, and it looks like we are so far. Let's see. That's okay. All right. So first things first, guys. For the new folks, we use the question box to type in questions. From time to time, I will unmute you. Also, from time to time, we bring on special guests. Last week, we had a lender who does a lot of investor financing. So if you didn't get to attend last week's webinar, or you haven't had a chance to look at the recording yet, absolutely, you want to listen to that, okay? Because they give you their contact information, and you'll know exactly where to go for financing now. So in any case, that was on the 11th, last week on Tuesday night, the 11th. So that's the one I'm talking about. They had the lender on. In any case, the other thing too is, make sure you guys submit to me your request for what subjects you want to cover. Tonight's webinar came as a direct result of several people saying they wanted to go over this in detail. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So if you have anything you want to cover in detail, you have questions on, it's particularly anything that would benefit the group, absolutely, please, text, call, email, what have you, let me know, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Many of you recognize this. This is our basic school report. And again, for those of you in Canada, we don't use school district. And for those of you in states like Virginia, and I believe it's Florida, South Carolina, there's several of them, where the State Board of Education, the Board of Education begins at the state level, goes to the county level, and then stops. There is no local level. In most other states, there is a local level. like Pennsylvania, Georgia, for example, okay? Um, if you're in some of those areas, you can use the high school name as your heading, okay? If you're in Canada, we generally use the area field up here. That's what we generally do up in Canada. So I don't want to go over how we build this because we've done it a number of times. If you watch the module 1, you'll see how we actually build this. But what I want to do is I'm going to look at this and go through an example of how we actually use it. So assuming your report is already built, okay, you've used your MLS searches, you've done all these searches, you know, Hopewell, active listings between 100 and 150,000, you plug that value in, all right? By the way, quick aside here, what we're doing now, guys, is we're sending the Excel spreadsheet for this out to the team leaders at the market centers so that they can perhaps have, maybe say the receptionist build it for you and load it on your office website for use by everybody instead of each of you having to build it on your own. Some of you have had to build it on your own, and that's good. So in any case, assuming it's built, if you look at this school report, you can see that basically speaking, over here in the upper right-hand corner is the bulk of the activity. In other words, you've got people looking to sell under the active column, in this case Seneca, and you've got people willing to buy, okay, also in Seneca. So you've got volume, people willing to sell, and you got velocity, people willing to buy. And velocity, by the way, people looking to buy is obviously greater than the people looking to sell. And this is a 90-day window, okay? And that's Seneca. You can see Mars is pretty good too, all right? You know, some of these other areas look okay, but over here, boy, this looks pretty juicy to me. So if I look at the school report, and I see that there's all this activity, selling and buying, well, that's where I want to focus my energy, okay? An example I give in the classrooms is not the first row, but the second, third, and fourth row. If you look at those numbers, between 150 and 300,000, we've got initially in the 150 to $200,000 range, we got 28 people looking to sell, and 65 people have bought in the last 90 days. The next row, 2 to 250, 15 are actively listed, and yet 39 have sold in the last 90 days. 250 to 300,000, we've got 13 people listing, and 35 people have bought in the last 90 days. That's where we want to. This is where we want to operate, guys. Okay, so the next thing we do is, now that we have this information, okay, I'm going to have to go to another screen here, but we go to that school district, all right? This is a Seneca Valley School District, and we can see what areas are serviced. It tells us, you know, Cranberry, Forward, Jackson, Lancaster, Callery, Harmony, Seven Fields, Zelienople, and on and on and on. Now we have this information. We know what, because every school district website tells you what areas they serve, okay? This is under our district, and literally that's it, our district. So now that we have the areas, here's the easiest way to find the zip codes. And I want you all to just kind of slow down a second and take notes here. And I'm going to have you, you can take a screenshot if you want. But what we do is we go to a website called zipcodes.com, and this is it right here. And you can see here's the US, this is the URL, excuse me, the link. So go ahead, and this is in your material, by the way. This is in your material in Module 1, all right? So right here, this URL is zip code. Just remember, zipcodes.com, ZIP-codes, CODES.com. Just write that down, or you can literally cut and paste this, or just write that down and type it into your browser in another session, and you'll get this website called zipcodes.com. Then what you can do is, and I've already done this in preparation for the class, okay? But what I did is I took one of those areas called Harmony that was in this school district profile. There's Harmony right here. I just picked Harmony because Harmony sounds nice and peaceful and harmonious, so I picked Harmony. I went out to zipcodes.com, typed it in, and I got this area. I got the basically a map view, and if I scroll down, basically I gave some demographics, by the way. All right, how many people are there, male versus female, median age, okay? And if you look down here, it gives you, turns out there's only one zip code in Harmony, 16037. You can search by county, by the way. So let's just type in here Allegheny County and see what we get. Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. Okay, so you can type in a county and get all the zip codes for a county. You can type in a city and get all the zip codes for a city. Oops, I'm sorry, that was wrong. That should have been Butler County. Excuse me. Actually, let's go here. Let's go Pennsylvania. So we'll click Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania zip code is right there. So you can look at the state level, county level, town level, anything you want. And if you check this out, look, they get data also from census. Okay. By the way, here's all the zip codes. All right. So if we look for H for Harmony, actually we got to go to Beaver County. Let's see, 16037, I think it was. So if we go all the way down here, by the way, these zip codes are in numerical order. Oop, here it is right here, Harmony. Okay, we can see that's the zip code for Harmony, 16037. All right. So in any case, we've got that zip code. That's the second step. So school district is number one, the school, basically school report. Then we go to zipcodes.com, okay, and get the zip code for the areas that school district services. In this case, we'll do one as an example, 16037. And then we go to this website, melissadata.com. So let me do it, and then we type in the zip code, by the way, 16037, and hit submit. Okay, so let me do a pause, quick pause here. Okay, and let's see. Okay, what do we got? Got some questions here. What did the report with the areas for Seneca look like? And that's Sherry. So Sherry, if we go back here, hang on one second. Let me reduce this for a second. And let me kill this little message from Facebook and go back here. So Sherry, I'm going to bring back up the school report, and here it is right here. So we can see for Seneca School District, all the sales data, active and sold, what's actively listed and what's sold on the MLS in price bands, 100,000 all the way to 1.5 million. We do it in price bands of 50,000 at first, up to $500,000, and then we jump to $100,000 bands after that. Okay, so does that? So Sherry, does that? I'm sorry, that's Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. So Cheryl, does that answer your question on school report? Okay. Rhonda says, I'm still on the school district page. Is that where you are, or are my slides not advancing? Well, now I'm on the school report, Rhonda, but I did jump ahead. I jumped over to zipcodes.com, and then from there I went to Melissa Data. So let's see. Let's see here. Gary, you changed the screen. I still have my screen, table, school district. I see your website. Yeah, you should actually, you should be on. Okay, we're back at the school report now. All right. So let's go to zip codes. Hang on one second. Zip codes. Let's go back. Let me reduce this for a second. Okay. All right. Here's the zip code screen. Now you guys should be seeing a different screen now. Let me go back here. Ron, hey Ron, how you doing? Ron just says I'm late. So Ron Gage from Florida. Hey Ron. Okay, a lot of you guys are saying that you're stuck on the school report. Let me do this. Let me advance to Melissa Data. Okay, this is melissadata.com, and again, this is in your material. Okay, it's in your training material, and and you should be advancing here. It's definitely advancing on this end, and normally I think we've done this probably over a few hundred times now. So Rhonda said it's still on the same screen. Why is it not advancing? That's really strange. I wonder if there's anything. Let me do this. Let's go back here. We're already in the webinar. Wonder why it's showing me that screen. Let's see if this. I wonder if I have to relaunch, guys. Hang on one second. I'm going to relaunch. Okay. A session is already running. Close. Okay. And let's go here. In session. Let me go back here. List of data. All right. Let's see now if. Okay. All right. Now tell me. Hey Roger, tell me what you're seeing now. Just type it in. Or any of you guys, if you want to type in what you're seeing now. No change. What in the heck is going on here? Same, still school report. And I'm definitely not on a school report. This is the strangest thing. I've never seen this. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. I'm going to continue because I don't know if it'll advance back or not. If it'll advance for you guys. But more importantly, the recording should have all this on it. But I want to walk you through just to, for the moment. We're going to pretend like we're on a conference call. Okay. So I want you to take notes on this. First things first is school report. Okay. Let's go back to that school report. This is what you guys have up right now. So if we're in Seneca and we determine where we want to be price range, okay, the next thing we do is we go to that school district's website and either do a screenshot or hand write down or type in a computer all of the areas that school district serves. So go ahead and write that down. Once you determine a school district, you write down all the areas that school district services. So when you write this down and you review the recording, it'll make sense. What you're seeing is going to match what you're writing down. Okay, so you have all those areas. The next thing you do, this is the next step, is go to zipcodes.com, zipcodes.com, okay? It's ZIP-codes, CODES.com. And then you type in, and you can do one at a time, or I mean, you're gonna have to do it that ways anyways. But type in each of the towns, boroughs or townships, whichever the case may be, that school district services. You type them in one at a time in the search field, and zipcodes.com will return the zip codes for that area. Okay, so let's do a quick pause here and let you guys catch up on that. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so you have zipcodes.com. You type in the town names, and you'll get the zip code serviced. You get the zip codes that are in those towns. Okay, so now you have your zip codes. That's step number 2. Step number 3 is you go to melissadata.com, and I'll let you type that in, melissadata.com. Okay, and in melissadata.com, you type in the zip codes one at a time, and many of you should be remembering this. All right. Let's see. So Sherry is asking a question, or Cheryl. Let's see. Can you send me the instructions to build the school report? I doubt our market center has it, and everyone is so busy it might take a while for someone to create it. I'll do it for myself if I have instructions. Yeah, if you could. So Cheryl, what we'll do is if you could email me at Gary Wilson at kw.com, and I'll send you the Excel spreadsheet for the school report. And the basic instructions, it's actually quite easy. That actually is a module 1. The instructions on how to build it are a module 1. But I would at least, when I send you the spreadsheet, at least show it to your team leader, your productivity coach, your receptionist, MCA, something like that. and see if they won't go ahead and do it for you, because this is a pretty pretty powerful report. Okay. Okay, so back to the instruction. You've got your zip codes. Now you go to melissadata.com and you type them in one at a time. All right. So I'm there now. Boy, I wish you guys could see this, but that's okay. Let's just keep taking notes, because this is actually better for your memory, to be honest with you, because you're gonna have to use your visualization. Again, this is all in module 1, but I want you to listen and take notes, because you're going to be far better off as a result. So you go to Melissa Data, you type in the zip codes. In this case, I chose 16037, which is the zip code for Harmony Borough, Harmony Township, I think. It's in that Seneca School District. Okay, so we type that in, and you'll see that there's 1, 2, 3, there's 5 P.O. Box routes, and you just ignore those. And then there's 7 carrier routes. Okay, rural R means rural route. If it had a C there in the front, C00111, for example, that would be carrier route or city route. Okay. Now, when you look at these charts, it's basically going to give you a chart, and for each row is a carrier route. Each row is actually like a neighborhood, and we can see how many homes are there. Okay, we can also see, oddly enough, what people make, but more importantly, we can see the average home value. So if we just determine that our client should be flipping homes between $150,000 and $300,000 in this example, then we want to look only in carrier routes that have neighborhoods with homes selling in that range. And this is pretty much retail. So now we're learning a concept, so don't worry about the prices that you or your clients are paying right now. What this data is showing us is what are houses selling for on average in those neighborhoods. And we can see every single one of these neighborhoods is selling between 150 and 300,000. Okay, so let me do a quick pause here, let you guys catch up. Let's see. I think that was Cheryl's question. So Roger's saying, yes, it's quite easy. I created one from Excel myself. And that's pretty cool, Roger. Thanks for doing that. Let's see that, Cheryl. Rhonda, where do you go on melissadata.com to type in the zip codes? So Rhonda, on Melissa Data, as soon as you type in the URL that comes in your training material, I'll read it off to you here. It's melissadata.com/lookups/cart zip. That's CART ZIP, Z as in zebra, IP, .ASP, Apple Sam Party. Okay, so you got to go to that specific URL, Rhonda, because if you just type in Melissa Data, you're going to get some kind of a marketing advertising thing. You have to type in the zip code just exactly as it comes in the training material, and as soon as it pops up, one of the first things you'll see is a rectangular box. It's going to say enter a 5-digit zip code. And that's where you type in the primary zip code. What we call the primary zip code is the first 5 digits. Okay. And for Sylvain, yes, this is a free website, completely free. You don't have to pay for anything. Let's see here. That was Sylvain. You do not need to sign up. No, but it's free. Okay. And Rhonda said, yes, Rhonda's asking just in the search box, and that's absolutely correct. So you type it in where it says enter a 5-digit zip code. There's a gray box there. You type in the zip code there. Click on the blue submit button. It's a big blue rectangular bar with the word submit in it in white. You click on that, and it brings up the chart of the carrier routes with the data, how many properties, what people make, and most importantly, of course, what the average home values are. So in any case, got it. Oh, thanks, Rhonda. Okay, good. So now we have that. And in this case, we can see every one of these carrier routes has homes priced between 150 and 300,000. So what you want to do now, guys, is this. You want to do a go to your MLS, and I'll slow down so you guys can write this down. Now you go to your MLS, bring up your map view. Always go to the map view first, okay? and you're going to create a search based primarily on map view. In other words, you're creating a map view search, okay? So you basically connect the dots. In other words, you draw a polygram where you can connect the dots to make any shape you want, and you're going to make a search a shape, you know, the polygram, the shape matching the map view of your carrier route data. In other words, when you're looking at your Melissa data chart, from left to right, it's going to give you the route number, the number of, basically the type of route, the county code. The next column is business count. Next column is apartment count. Next column is P.O. box count. Next column is residential count. The next column is your average household income, kind of interesting, okay? And the next column, the last column, or next to the last column is your average property value. And the last column says view map, and that's where you see the map button. If you click on the map button, and I'll do that now, it'll show you the map view that the carrier takes when he's carrying the mail. So let's click on roll route R11 and zip code 16037, excuse me. Let's click on that. It's going to take a second to build, but it shows you with the route that opens with the mail. It's taking a while to build the screen, and there it is. It's still basically it's going to show you the area with the road names, everything. The outline, you just copy this outline in your MLS, and then you're only going to be looking for properties in that specific area. So that's the map view there. All right, so I'm going to go back for a second, back to my carrier route data. So now we have our map views set up. And once you have your map view set up, guys, then you can go into the search and then add in number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, whether or not it has a garage. Any particulars you can type in. There's all kinds of search fields that you can type in. You don't just have to use the ones that are given on your initial display in MLS. There's typically a drop-down menu where it says other fields. You type on that and you can type in, click on that and you can type in, you know, enter data for all these other search fields. Sometimes it gives you, ask you about roofing, and you can say asphalt roofing, okay, or tile roofing, whatever the case may be. In any case, the bottom line is you build your map view search first, and then you fill in the specific criteria like number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, and so forth, okay? Okay, so now we're getting very narrow here, all right? We've gone from the massive broad ocean of data. We've narrowed it down to price range within school district. And depending on where you are in the country, it could be zip code already. I know up in Queens, Brooklyn, and the Bronx, we would build this chart, that school report, based on zip code, because each of those three boroughs has 60 or 70 zip codes, okay? That's what makes more sense up there. Again, in Canada, we'll use the area field. In Virginia, we'll use the high school field. It just depends on where you are, okay? So in any case, we've got that information. We've narrowed down our search dramatically, and we're going to narrow it down further by coming to Melissa Data and typing in the zip codes for each of those areas, getting the carrier route data, okay, and then building a map view search that matches each of these map views for each of these carrier routes. Now remember, the interim step is using zipcodes.com. So you get the towns that you're interested in based on your school report that are serviced by the school district, and you go to zipcodes.com to get the zip codes that are in those towns. Then you come here and type them in right up here. This is so now we've gone from broad to narrow. We're focusing only on specific neighborhoods that have specifically priced sales that are in specific neighborhoods, in specific zip codes, in specific school districts. All right, now let me do a quick pause here and bring the panel back over. And let's see, look for questions. Okay, it says on a previous call it was stated that registering will permit you to view the maps, but I'm still having problems viewing the maps even after registering. So sure, you should be able to type in this this URL exactly the way it is, just exactly the way it is in your training material. Everything up to the question mark. So if you look at your training material, it'll have www.melissa-data.com/lookups/cartzip.asp. If you type it in exactly like that, you'll get this panel, and there's no membership required. There's no like I've never signed in or registered for anything. I just go right to this link. I know people who have registered. I don't know anybody off the top of my head, but you can certainly do that because they want to sell you stuff. Like they say, like right here, look, you can buy a list of all addresses in a zip code. Okay, you can buy a list of all businesses in a zip code. I mean, that might be really worthwhile information, but quite frankly, it's really not. It would help, but it's not necessary at this point to buy anything else, because you can go to your interface to your county's property tax assessment database. Some areas of the country, your property's tax assessment data is loaded at the municipal level. In fact, that's the way it is up in New York. So in New York, you would look at Scarsdale, property tax assessment database, or White Plains. Okay, but you don't have to look at, let's say up in Yorktown, you don't have to look at Yorktown County. Because everything's loaded at the municipal level. But regardless, all of that property data is loaded online. Okay, and you can access that by searching for properties that have basically criteria you're looking for. Okay, and then you'll get all the properties in that area that meet your criteria. Again, this is all property, not just those that are listed. Your tax assessment database has all properties in your area. Okay, so you get all these properties, all right, and you get the names and addresses and everything. You get the addresses of the properties, and you also get the name and the address of the owner of those properties. So that's why I don't really think it's necessary to buy that data, because you've got plenty of it here available to you for free. Okay, let me go check more questions here. Hang on one second. I think that's it. Let's see. I think we're caught up on questions. Okay, I think we're caught up on questions. All right. So in any case, let me slide my panel back over and go back here. So the last thing we're going to do. So far we've done 3 steps: school report, zipcodes.com, melissadata.com/lookups/cartzip. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our local planning commission website, okay? And we're going to type in, we're going to drill down to the areas we're going to search in. So I just typed in the largest planning commission I could find for the area where Seneca is a region. In other words, there's several counties in the region. And what I did is I went, and you can see here's all the counties in that region. And I knew I was looking at Butler County because I knew that the Seneca School District gave me the names of the towns they were servicing, and those towns I found were in Butler County. Okay, so let me just back up here for a second and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I got this website here, right? This is the main website, spcregion.org. Then I clicked on Butler County because I knew that was a county I wanted to be in. All right. Then I came down here and I'm looking for Harmony Borough, because remember I went to school district first, Seneca, went to the school district website, found out all the towns that it serviced. I happened to pick Harmony because I like the name the word Harmony. Then I went to zipcodes.com, got the zip code for Harmony, then went to Melissa Data, typed in the zip code there in melissadata.com and got that housing data, the number of properties, the average property value, clicked on the map views and started drawing maps, creating map searches based on the average property value. It turns out it was all the carrier routes. Okay, now before you or your client are ever going to get in a car and go, burn gas or put pen to paper, you're going to go to your planning commission website. So in this case, I went from the regional level to the county level, Butler County, clicked on Butler. I got all the townships and boroughs for Butler. They're all in alphabetical order. So I go down alphabetically, find H for Harmony. I click on that. Okay, and this is what pops up right here. Oops, sorry, right here. I've already saved it. And the reason I like this is it gives me all the demographics, all the social graphics for that neighborhood, for that area. I mean, everything: sex, age, race, religion, salary level, education level. It's all out there. And look at page after page after page of all kinds of vital statistics. That's all formatted in a user-friendly fashion, just for you and I to use. It wasn't created for us, guys. These websites were not created for us. We just discovered them and learned how to use them to our benefit and to the benefit of our clients. So let me go back up to the top here. Okay, and let's see why this is so valuable. We can see primarily, or I should say primarily, we can see amongst other things the breakdown of the population by age. We can see in 5-year increments, okay, how many people live there in 5-year increments. Now, the other thing too is everything's in there, age brackets, age whatever. But let's say we're flipping a home, and we determine that we should be flipping a home, and we have determined that between 150 and 300,000. Okay. So we know that for a fact. We should be flipping home between 150 and 300,000. We know the school district. We get the town. We get the zip codes. Get that data. Get the carrier route data. Then come here and plug in we click on Harmony, and we get all this information for Harmony. So if we know that the most likely person to buy a home is a middle-class family looking to buy a medium-priced home with 2.3 children, you want to pay attention to all this information here. Now, there's always exceptions, but for the most part, I can see how many people live here, and this is fairly well distributed. Obviously, the population here is a lot of people between 25 and 29. Let's see, 40 to 44. 45 to 49, 50 to 54, okay, 55 to 59, but essentially it's pretty well distributed. There's not many people over the age of 84, but from under 5 years old at 48 people all the way to 70 at 49 people, it's pretty evenly spread. So I would say this area would be okay to flip a home. If I was flipping a home, I would be okay with this area, okay? If you're looking to buy rentals, you might see a slightly younger crowd. In other words, more people in the 20 to 40 to 45 range, okay, and fewer people in the 30 to 60 range, that kind of thing, all right? But there's some more stuff I want to show you here, all right? Let me get down to there's a ratio here I want to show you. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is right here, all right? So if you look on the second page, there's a block there, and what it says is housing units, comma, housing population, comma, and average household size by housing tenure. And one of the things it gives you is, all right, the percentage of owner-occupied properties and the percentage of renter-occupied properties, right? And I can see based on the based on the unit count, that 73.3% of the units, housing units, are owner occupied, and 26.7% are tenant occupied. Now the reason I think this just basically validated that this is a good flipping area, and the reason is it's just about 3/4 owner occupied. Okay, so I want to give you guys a ratio to write down. So write this ratio down. If you're looking to flip homes, either you or your client. Generally speaking, this is generally speaking, okay, anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, you want to look for a home owner-occupied ratio of greater than 2/3, 67% or greater is owner-occupied. Those areas I generally would look at towards flipping. Okay, if I'm looking at an area that I'm generally interested in for buying rentals, then this down here, renter-occupied housing units, that ratio, I would look for it to be somewhere between 33%, or say 30% and 70%. So oddly enough, I was in, where was I? I was in actually all three, Queens, Brooklyn, and Bronx. All three were about 69% tenant occupied. That's why up there, I would be focusing on rentals, guys. I know it's awful tempting to be flipping homes because of what's happening to your pricing, but there's a lot of risk in flipping right now, right? I would be focusing on rentals. Now, I was, where was I last week? And it was, let's see, let's see, Smyrna and Woodstock. I think it was Smyrna. Smyrna, Georgia was about 80% owner occupied and actually a little bit more than that, and about 16% tenant occupied. That definitely will be a good flip area. So if you're on this webinar and you're from Smyrna, you should be looking at flipping out there. But be honest with you, I'm sorry, that was Woodstock. Woodstock was the one that was that was very lightly populated by renters. Smyrna was more of a rental area, excuse me. So in any case, you're looking at this information, this data, to validate your investment strategy or that of your client. Okay, so you're looking at the ratio of ownership and ratio of tenant occupancy. You're looking at all this other information, and age is a great one to be looking at, because if you think about it, people who have families with 2, 3, 4 children generally want to move to a neighborhood where everybody else has 2, 3, 4 children. I'm not saying some families won't move into areas where there's no kids, but for the most part, if you think about it, most people with kids will move into an area that also has kids. That's going to be your largest segment of that dynamic, or that what we call that demographic. Okay. So in any case, I want to do a quick pause here, because the primary focus of tonight was to show you the exact step-by-step process of how do you identify a good area for investing. I gave you the example. The examples I gave you was for flipping. I'm going to show you one right now that I believe will be a good area for buying rentals. And this is for all you folks who are in the Greenville, South Carolina area. So this is a 29601, which is one of the Greenville, South Carolina zip codes. Let's type that in and hit submit. And while that's populating, I'm going to bring my panel back over and look for questions. So hang on 1 second here, guys. Let me make sure we're all caught up on the questions. Okay. Roger says it's fantastic. Okay, good. Thanks, Roger. So Faisal, how you doing, Faisal? Okay, this data is amazing. Once I started researching the information, yeah, you're right. Hey guys, Faisal and I had an awesome call the other night, and we were digging in. He had census data. So one of the things I want to tell you is, don't be afraid to use census. I used census for years. When I discovered all this information, I used it in my teaching, because it's easier to teach the concept using these tools. Census is a little bit complex. You're going to have to spend a little bit of time generating reports in census, but Faisal did an awesome job of figuring out what areas to focus on. Okay, and census had everything. All right. Let's see here. Let me go back to the questions. Let me make sure I'm okay. Okay, this is Roger. Roger says, okay, in New Jersey MLS, under neighborhood profile, contains similar information to the census.com and specific region sites. Yeah, I tell you what, Roger, yeah, you, Faisal, Hans, I mean, I know New Jersey's tough on landlords, but man, there's some really good areas in there to invest, guys. And you're obviously, I mean, Hans knew that, because I think he's already got 3. Hans, what do you got? At least 3 under contract so far. Let's see. This is Rhonda. Rhonda says, I don't see any of the info you're talking about on my county or city planning commission website. Is there somewhere else I can get the same similar? Yeah. So Rhonda, if you want to go to census.gov, That's the mothership of all data anyways. In other words, all these planning commissions, that's where they're going to get their data is census. It's just that these planning commission websites kind of generate all the reporting for you. And by the way, Rhonda, if you go to your county's planning commission website, sometimes it's a little bit cryptic, like they're all different. But what you want to look for is look for a field or fields that say something like data or files or neighborhood information. It might even say census data, or it might say demographics. Anything like sometimes, Ronnie, you just have to really poke around, and maybe you've already done that. And for the most part, everyone we've ever seen at the county level has more data than the local ones, the municipal ones. So I tend to focus on the county ones myself, and we've been pretty fortunate wherever we've been in the country, even up in Canada. I mean, Canada has the same kind of thing, planning commission websites, but they use CanStats, which is Canadian Statistics. That's their census data, and their census is more frequent up in Canada. So in any case, by the way, for you Canadians, I'll be back in Canada this weekend. All right. But it's a little bit different, same process, we just use different tools in Canada. But in any case, Rhonda, so play around. Rhonda, if you want to, I tell you what, Rhonda, send me the link for your county's planning commission website. Do that, and I'll see what I can find out, and I'll get back to you, okay? All right, that was Rhonda. Let's see. This is, okay, we got Fastle's message, Roger's message. And Hans says yes. That was so Hans, I think, when in his first month had 300 contracts. Okay, hey guys, let me do this. Let me slide my control panel back over, and I want to show you this view of Greenville, South Carolina. You can see in this zip code I just plugged in 29601. I picked it at random. There's about a dozen zip codes for Greenville, probably more. I picked it at random. There's no PO boxes. All the routes are city routes, and look at the mixture. You've got a lot of apartments there. I mean, if you guys are in upstate, Anderson, Greenville, Spartanburg, look at this, guys. 491 apartments in that carrier route. 412, 287, 139, 318, 372, 297. In case you're wondering, Greenville for a long time was a real hotbed for investing. Actually, still is, for buying rentals and flipping. Okay. And if you look at the price ranges, you got 115,000, right, all the way up to 627,000 average property value. All right, and look, they got apartments in that area. Okay, the average was probably somewhere around the $200,000 range. But again, you click on any of these zip codes, these carrier routes, and it gives you the map view that the postman takes with the mail. Okay. So what I would do is, if you guys are looking for rentals, or you're helping your landlords look for more rentals, go to Melissa Data, type in the zip codes for your areas until you find views that look like this with a lot of apartments. Okay. Now I know you guys up in New York are chuckling because you click on your zip codes up there, man, and you're going to get a boatload of apartments. Okay. But in any case, these are the areas where you do your searches. 491, 412. Forget the one with 13. Forget the one with 45. I mean, those are probably good areas too. But if you focus on the areas with the most apartments, okay, you're generally going to get a better shot of finding inventory for your clients, and focusing and narrowing and targeting your effort so that you're not spinning your wheels in areas that you have no business being in. Okay. So in any case, I wanted to just show you this for an example. We can bring up other examples if you guys want. Just give me some zip codes, and we can type them in and do a quick analysis for you right here on the webinar for you if you want. Hey Rhonda, by the way, I spoke to Mark Rickert the other day. It turns out I am coming back out west. I'm going to be going through New Mexico and Arizona the week before family reunion, and I'm going to speak at Mark Rickert's RIA group, as well as the Albuquerque group. And what I was going to tell you, Rhonda, I'm going to be in Southern California after family reunion, not the very next week, but the 2 following weeks. And if you want me to come speak to your RIA group, please let me know ASAP, so we can help get that arranged. I might have to have you make an introduction for me, because I don't think I know any RIA members or RIA directors out in that area. but I'd be glad to do it. You know, just let me know. Okay, let's see. Somebody is typing in 28806. Let's type that in. 28806. Let's hit submit and see what we get there. Okay, and this is, by the way, this is Wanda. Hey, Wanda, how you doing? All right, so Wanda, let's look and see what 28806 looks like, and that's Asheville. Okay, and if you look here, boy, that's a big zip code. Holy smokes! You have no PO boxes. You've got a lot of carrier routes, a lot of C routes, city routes, and several rural routes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in your rural routes, if you notice this, guys, rural routes are predominantly dominated by owner occupants. Look at that. Look at all those homes, and only one of those rural routes has any apartments. It turns out it has 80. In fact, I bet that is I bet that's an apartment complex. Okay, that's a rural route 8 in zip code 28806. But if you look up here, you can see you've got in all the city routes a number of apartments here, number of apartments here, number of apartments here. If you look at the average unit value, 176, 145, 205, and then we look at the other routes that have all homes, okay, and no apartments. And what I see here is you go all the way down to 126,000, okay, and you're up around, let's see, 212, I think is the highest one. Yeah, 212 is the highest priced area. And you can see there's fewer apartments. And if you look at some of the other areas, now here's an anomaly, excuse me. 139 apartments, 437 homes, average unit value 205. And I tell you what, I would check this out one. Let's go down here. You can lower price 150,209 units apartments, excuse me. Okay. This one has 80 here, 176,000. So in any case, you've got some good areas here, and generally what you want to do, Wanda, is on the flipping areas, usually will have fewer apartments and higher home prices. There are exceptions, and I'm looking at this right here, 126,000 average home price, over 1,000 properties, 1,000 units, okay, and not a single apartment. So this tells me this is probably a lower income area. So Wanda, what I would do here, if you have clients interested in purchasing single family homes to keep in the rent, I would look in this area right here, C017. Okay, no apartments, lots of homes, the most homes in that area, by the way. Look at the average salary, it's very low, and average property value 120. So let's click on that one. Let's click on the map and see if you see where this is. See if you know where it is, excuse me. So while that's populating, I'm going to bring my panel back over, and let's go back so we can see Wanda. Let me go to questions. So Wanda, I'm going to bring up my question box again. Let's see. So Wanda, do you recognize this area? It's west of 26, west of the historic Montford area, west of University of North Carolina, Asheville. So, you know, I mean, around UNC Asheville, obviously you'll have some rental units around there. You could potentially have some people living over here going to school, but not likely because you got a river, the French Broad River, running right alongside 26. And not a lot of people are going to be wanting to cross the river every day to go to campus. You know, go over a bridge, blah, blah, blah. They might. But Juan, I'm telling you, if you have people who like rentals, but they don't like apartments, they like single family homes, I would look in this area right here. Okay. So let me go back to where I was, and let's see. I think I saw Sylvain had a question. So Sylvain, yes, saying, Gary, try, let's see, 27701. Okay, Sylvain, let me type that in. 27701, and I'm going to hit submit. Okay, Sylvain, so this is obviously Durham, Let me reduce my panel so I can see more of it. Boy, looks like another good one here. Holy smokes, look at that. All city routes, no rural routes, no PO boxes. You've got a solid mix of apartments and homes. You've got a broad range of values. Um, Look at that, all the way down to 70,000 and all the way up, let's see, 426. Is that the highest one? That's the highest one. So in this one here, Sylvain, the one that's, let's see if we could find a good mixture here or a good example of each. Okay, down here, all right, here's 175 apartments, average salary 31,000, average property value 187. That's okay. Let's look here. Here's average unit value, average property value 70,000, 88 rentals, and still a lot of homes. So again, Sylvain, this might be an area that might be good for people who want to rent out single-family homes. So let's just click on the map view and see what that looks like. Because remember, guys, a lot of landlords, a lot of investors actually like purchasing single-family homes to rent. I mean, it's going to be faster to build wealth and income by using multi-units, but nonetheless, you don't argue with your clients. If that's what they want, give them what they want. So check this out. You're close to, again, college, excuse me, sorry, I just zoomed out by mistake, excuse me for that. North Carolina Central University Bookstore. You've got Durham Technical Community College. You've got a number of things around here, Sylvain, Performing Arts Center. But this area right here, if you recognize this, it straddles the Durham Freeway. Again, you're pretty close to some higher education. Let's see what else we have around there. So this is considered East Durham. In any case, so Sylvain, if you have people interested in properties like that, that's where I will go. But let me go back to the chart. And I want to see if I can find something else here. All right. Let's see. Here's one for you multi-units. I can see right away 405 apartments, Sylvain. Average property value 113. So if you're looking strictly for multi-units, I will go to this area right here. All right. Let's click on it and see if you recognize where it is. And you'll probably know as soon as you see the map that, yep, there's a lot of apartments and condos there. So it needs to populate here. Hang on one second. Just north of where we just were. So we were just, in the last screen, we were down around here. All right, and now we're up here. Lots of multi-units, okay? So that should shed some light on things. Now let's see if we can find one. I tell you what, these three right here, Sylvain, carrier routes 4, 5, and 6. Look at that, no apartments, lots of houses, and you're right smack in the middle of a medium price range, 250, 260, 277. I will be looking there for flipping, okay? So in any case, good example. I'm glad you brought that up, Sylvain. All right, let's see what else we have after Sylvain. So Grace, why I only see one screen, school district? Let's see, Juana says Woodfin. That must have been, so Juana must be answering my question about what that was. Okay. Carrier route 19, as Sylvain is asking, let's look at that. Okay, hang on one second. Carrier route 19, yeah, 88 apartments, 331 homes, average property value 70,000. Look at the average income, it's only 22,000, Sylvain. So in any case, the basic gist of tonight, guys, was to show you how to narrow down your efforts to finding the right areas so you have the right properties depending on your investor's strategy. So hopefully we've accomplished that tonight, okay? Everybody should be getting on this, and again, this is being recorded, so what you're going to get the recording of it. You can certainly listen to it. I encourage you to strip off the audio, using that. There's a, if you Google or go to on your phone, your smartphone, I'm sorry, just Google it on your computer. You can get a application for free that gives you a converter. It converts to MP3. You get to strip off the audio so you can listen to it in your car. There's another app you can get on your phone, GoToWebinar on your phone, that allows you to watch the webinar recording on your phone. Okay, so you don't always have to be a computer to do this. You can be mobile and do this too. And guys, I got to tell you, man, repetition is the mother of learning. Okay, repetition is the mother of learning, and repetition is the mother of success. So, in any case, let's see. Oh, Funke is on. Hey, Funke. Let's see who else we got here. Hey, Jeff. How you doing? We're pretty much wrapping up now. Hey, Jerry. How you doing? Oh, hey, Funke. I got your voicemail. I don't know if that was before or after you emailed, had emails go back and forth with Beverly, but if you could please contact Beverly for anything administrative when it comes to the, how you paid for it. That's I don't get in. I don't have any access to that. Beverly does. If it has to do with the platform, then you go to Jody for that. Okay. Okay. Anything technical, go to Jody. Anything financial, go to Beverly. Let's see who else is on here. Make sure we're okay on questions here. I think that's it, guys. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Hey, Ron Gage. I'm going to be doing I'm teaching at the Bay County Area Association of Realtors in Panama City on Monday, November 7th. I don't know if you want to make the drive there, but if you want to, come join us. And I'll be at the Panama City Market Center on Tuesday, November 8th. If you were, I'll contact Lee and Maria down at the Destin office too. Let's see, I think that's it, guys. Hey, Willett. Hi, Willett. Willett's on too. Good to see you. All right, guys, we're going to pretty much wrap it up here. Let me reduce the attendee panel, go back to the questions, make sure we wrap them up. And let's see, Sylvain, okay, will we get the app tomorrow to watch on our phone? So, Sylvain, you have to do that yourself. You go to your phone, go to your app store, and search for GoToWebinar, and you'll get the free app, and you can download it on your phone. So, okay, guys, that was a pretty good session, man. We got a lot done. I hope this helped a lot of you guys. This really should help a lot. So, Rocco, for you particularly, I know you were the ones looking for this information. And Rocco, we never did connect, by the way. Tomorrow I'll be free after, let's see, after 2 o'clock tomorrow, Rocco. We can connect tomorrow if you'd like, so let me know. All right, guys, so I hope you have an awesome night and an awesome rest of the week. And I will keep you put, by the way, next week I will be in the Kansas City area, okay, Kansas City and Wichita. So that's next week. The week after that, Missouri and Arkansas. And then I head back down to Florida. And then back to Georgia after that. So that's the week before Thanksgiving. I'll be back in Georgia. So in any case, I look forward to seeing you guys all again, man. And appreciate you being in the program and learning and taking notes and asking questions, because that tells me you're engaged and you're implementing. And I want to hear some of your results. Please let me know how you guys are doing out there. And whenever you need a strategy call, let me know. All right. God bless you and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.